What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Puerto Rican Conservative, and today we're going to be talking about the recent approval of a $1.5 billion recovery plan by Trump's federal government in order to help out the people of Puerto Rico, and how it's going to be handled without risk of being corruptly managed by greedy special interest politicians in Puerto Rico. We're also going to be discussing a video published by Dennis Michael Lynch and his criticism of the $1.5 billion approval, and how the comparisons that he made, although passive, were drafted to agitate taxpayers rather than inform them. This and many more interesting talking points. Today, I'm tracing the facts.
Hey yo, I love when cats think they're bigger than a sumo. That's when I hit them with a little Puerto Rican judo. Oh, you don't know what that is, that's when I say.
As everybody knows, after Hurricane Maria struck Puerto Rico in October of 2017, the island was devastated. Complete power outage, roads and highways were destroyed, and contrary to the propaganda being pushed at that time by San Juan's mayor Carmen Yulías Cruz, the Trump administration did everything it could to help out the people of Puerto Rico and help them receive the much needed disaster relief they so desperately needed. Now, for almost 8 months since Hurricane Maria struck the island, Puerto Rico has been struggling with both the recovery of electrical power and, secondly, receiving the much needed disaster relief funds from FEMA for home and businesses affected by the storm. Now, on July 30th of 2018, Secretary of HUD Ben Carson announced that HUD had approved a $1.5 billion recovery plan for Puerto Rico. The people of Puerto Rico were ecstatic, of course. The governor of Puerto Rico praised Trump, whom, by the way, was the one who signed Public Law 115/123 on February 9, 2018, providing the $28 billion in CBDG-DR, or the Community Development Block Grant for disaster recovery. Keyword, disaster recovery. And everyone is happy because now Trump is proven to be not only a hero to the people of America, but also to the forgotten citizens of Puerto Rico. Or so we thought. Now, less than a few days after Ben Carson's announcement, I ran into a few right-wing or right-wing videos criticizing the help granted to Puerto Rico by the Trump administration. But one specific commentator stood out to me because of, one, his 1 million follower page, which basically means he can reach more people with this type of information, and two, the fact he's a well-known personality. And I'm talking about Dennis Michael Lynch, who made a video made up of extremely inaccurate statements or comparisons that I felt only served to paint Puerto Rico as somehow privileged over homeless Americans, distort the order of truth, and further fuel anti-Puerto Rican sentiments, as we know. There's been a lot of that recently. So what I'll do is use a clip from the video I'm speaking about, and as he speaks on it, I will highlight where his statements are wrong or inaccurate and use news references to corroborate my position. I'm also going to highlight the inaccurate comparisons that he made in accordance to our understanding of our government structure and how funds are generally managed and by who. So let's roll this clip and begin the dissemination process.
It was announced just the other day from Ben Carson, who heads HUD, that HUD is giving $1.5 billion to the government of Puerto Rico to help rebuild what is still devastated there. Now, my problem isn't so much that we're helping out the Puerto Rican people. That's not it.
You don't mind helping out the Puerto Rican people? Don't you mean the American people of Puerto Rico? And this is why I tell my audience that semantics can be utilized to restructure people's perspectives and ideas of things. But go ahead, Michael Lynch, continue.
My problem is that based on this program, $1 billion of the $1.5 billion is going for what they call new housing stock. So each qualified homeowner is going to get up to $120,000 each for a new home, and others are going to get $46,000, I think it is, for repairs on existing homes.
Funny thing is, I don't remember Dennis Michael Lynch complaining when Texas got $5 billion on February of 2018 and Louisiana got an additional $1.2 billion, even though both of them put together doesn't amount for more than 50 casualties amongst both of them. And in Puerto Rico, it's already been estimated that more than 1,427 lives were lost. And between 80 and 90% of homes in most of the communities in Puerto Rico were either destroyed or damaged.
Now, keep in mind that earlier this year, amid a homelessness problem in this country of the likes that we haven't seen in our lifetime.
Actually, I'm located here in Florida, and it was reported last year that homelessness is actually down 15%. But I do believe that this historically high homelessness that Dennis Michael Lynch is talking about is in reference to the results of liberal policy, since all three states with these high homelessness rates all come from either New York, California, or Hawaii.
We put $2.2 billion forward. So for 50 states of the United States, we gave, as taxpayers, $2.2 billion to local governments and outreach programs to help the homeless here in the United States. And we're giving $1.5 billion to help housing in Puerto Rico.
My question to Dennis Michael Lynch is this: how can you make a comparison between the $1.5 billion given to Puerto Rico under the CBDG-DR policy that was signed by Donald Trump for disaster recovery relief pertaining to Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Maria, and Sandy, and make a comparison with homelessness, even though homelessness falls under HUD, it is funded through the congressional spending bill that was approved beforehand.